Hi, Doug Murphy and Doug with Sackville here. Stuart Grice. Stuart, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good, Dougie. How are you, mate?
Oh, great. I've just been down to Sydney and Shimano. Stuart, we got some new product coming out.
Oh, a bit of new stuff, mate. We can't talk about it,
Not yet.
but it's coming.
Yes, you'll find out next week.
You will.
Yeah. Hey, Stuart, the weather this weekend, mate, how's it looking?
Mate, it depends on where you look.
Correct.
So we've been caught out every single week for weeks and weeks and weeks saying it's going to be good and it's bad, and we say it's going to be bad and it's good. So this week, it depends on where you look as to what it says.
And that means, cutting it short, so I'm saying 15 to 25 knots, west-northwest, definitely west, for tomorrow. And for Sunday, they're saying around sort of 15 to 20 knots, 25 at times. Go to windy tomorrow. Doesn't matter if you're out in 500 metres deep, they're saying like 3 to 8 knots at this stage. I took photos just to keep it all intact.
To prove it?
Prove it in case we get proven wrong. And they're saying on Sunday it's a bit windy, sort of north of the Seaway. And then down south of sort of below Tweed. But between Tweed and the Seaway, there's like this big protected dome that goes out to about 50 fathoms. That's only about 8 knots all day.
Amazing.
So I don't know.
So it depends on where you look.
Correct. So my thoughts are, if you're going close, you're going to be safe. Okay, there's no swell, and you've got high tide about midday. So low tide in the morning, but it's only 0.5.
Yeah, they're not very big run-outs of a morning. The nighttime tide's a bigger one.
So I would probably say maybe fishing close to snapper definitely on, Stuart.
Around the 24s, mate. It's been really, really good this last week on the days that are permitted.
18, 24 fathoms, up to 90 centimetres, like some really crackers. So they've turned up. Obviously, the closure starts later. I think it's next week or next weekend.
On around the 14th or 15th. You'll have to double check, but it's around then. It runs for a month.
That's right. Correct. So this is your chance. Do it.
That's it.
If you get the chance, up to you. But anyhow, so in close to snapper being caught, obviously a few jewies being caught a mile away. The snapper taking liveys as well. The biggest snapper are, as well as cobia and jewies. Cobia been good too. There's been some cracker pearl perch I've been seeing getting caught around 18 to 24 fathoms, up to like 55, 60 centimetres.
You always get the odd ones, but there's been more than the odd one.
More than normal. More than normal.
And some big tuskies around the area too.
Big tuskies as well, and marrow cod. So it's good fishing at the moment, guys. You just got to get out there and put the effort in and hopefully get a few, snag a few. The snapper obviously very early, right on daylight. There's a few guys getting them on plastics, sort of 5 and 7 inch jerk shads. And also smaller stuff like you've got a few flatty ones, but
like these are flatties, but we just got heaps of McCarthy stuff in, so very skinny at the tail wrist, so heaps of action, and they just work a treat on flatties and snapper and jewies, and I've caught nearly everything on them, And Dougie, jigs have been going alright as well,
jigs been going good, Lacanis style. On the 36s, there's been heaps of snapper on 36 fathoms too, Stu. A little bit of southerly current finally come in. The first time we had southerly current of any type for maybe 4 months. So that turns the fish on, as we've seen the last few days. So, but Lacanis type jigs, we have so many different styles of this type of jig. The snapper love them, as do the pearl perch and the parrotfish and cods and everything else. Nomad Vibes, Stewie.
We just got
a big fan of these, mate.
Another top up, mate. Plenty of them in stock, ready to go.
We finally got like stock, so you won't miss out. And we've got those in stock, and they'll work on the snapper as well, Stuart.
100%.
They'll sit in the rod hold and work like a Lacanis, so just let it do its own thing. Or you can work it yourself. Whichever way you want to do it. Slow pitch jigs, Stuart.
Slow pitch jigs. So I prefer slow pitch for pearlies now than the other ones. Just because you can work them a little bit quicker and kind of zone in on that area.
Sorry, guys.
But
the double hook busted, and also the cast jigs.
Cast ones.
We've got we've actually literally got nearly 1,000 different types of jigs down there. In size and colours and types.
The other thing, Dougie, a little bit further, still kingies and amberjack around there.
50 fathoms northeast been really good, and big snapper there as well, and big pearlies as well. But the kings and amberjack in the last week, there's been quite a few caught, fast speed jigging, Stew, and slow pitch style. Fish about the average sort of around that 4 to 8 kilos with the odd 15 or 20 kilo kingy. Getting hooked, not for getting up, but and amberjack as well. The backside of the 50 has been good for big pearlies as well. They turn up. They're normally around May, But this year they're here now. The bigger ones in numbers have just turned up everywhere
Yeah.
in the last week.
Yeah.
I think that southerly current, I've always seen on the Sound the last 5 trips there, we've seen them on the Sound in the spots, but they're
Yeah.
just not biting it.
No.
A few little ones, the odd big one. But now they're on.
Yep.
Yeah, so next Tuesday we'll give them a bit of a smack up.
Hopefully, mate. That's
if
it.
the weather holds.
And jigs for the kingies, Dougie, different jig.
Yeah,
mate.
different
so
jigs,
a
mate.
longer, skinnier jig, so you can
Correct,
work them a bit
yeah.
quicker. Yeah.
Show those two if you want.
Yeah, mate. They work pretty good, mate.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You can use them fast or slow, the style. These
Yep.
are Japanese jigs, they're really nice quality.
Yep.
And we have 1,000 different types of those too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But slow pitch jigging's really good. They're also using that style jig there and like that 200 gram size out, about 250 metres for the flame snapper
Yeah.
and kingies out there as well, Stu.
Yeah.
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 And then deep dropping. So I don't know if you get there, going by windy, you'll get it there tomorrow. But
Who
the
knows?
westerly, you've got to be
Yeah.
careful out wide, as you know.
Yeah. Early next week.
Even
Looks
though it might
definitely
not,
better.
even though it might not be much swell, if you've got 20 knots of westerly, it's just the most outrageous short chop you've ever seen.
It's ugly.
It's just
Yep.
breaking little waves, you know.
Yep.
But if you do get out in the next week, deep drop and stew,
Yeah.
definitely the go.
So we obviously do these rigs in store. Dougie's got like the little pearly one,
Yeah.
glow in the dark squids on there. They glow blue,
Yep.
so it stands out better at depth. They love
And
it.
UV leader
Yep.
as well.
And just these little ones here as well. So that's just next size up in hook. More for like your flamies and bark rod, and bit of an all rounder.
Yeah, and then we've got big bass groper size and blue size as well.
Yeah.
Also, noticed the last week there's been a lot more the raised brim have been caught.
Yeah, okay.
Performant, whatever you call it.
Black pomfret.
But black pomfret, that's
Yeah.
it. It's tongue twisted on that one.
Yeah.
And also quite a few alphons and a bit more different variety in the deep water. So
Yeah.
good
Maybe
to
that
see.
current mate's starting.
I think
to
so,
get
yeah.
through,
I think so, Stuart. Yeah, so it brings the fishing on. Bit of run, bit of fun.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
So striped marlin, a few striped marlin there as well. There's been some good yellowfin tuna out there at the moment,
has.
up to about 70 kilos.
Yep.
A few guys got them on stick baits the last couple of weeks as well.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
or poppers are stick baits, one or two.
Yep.
Give them a crack if you're out that way. Always have one rod rigged up ready to cast.
Yep.
If you see it on the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is if you are fishing around the 24s or 18s even,
Yep.
and you catch some mackerel, Spanish mackerel has had a change in the guidelines, the bag limits and everything. So you're only allowed 1 Spanish per person, maximum of 2 per boat, as of June 30. So the day.
That's
Yep.
correct.
Yep.
Yep.
So don't get caught with more than 2.
That's correct. Yeah. So that's span crabs.
Yep.
The span crabs are a bit on a bit this last couple of weeks too, in that sort of 55 metre mark.
Yeah, they're a little bit deeper. Yeah.
Yeah, it's right out off Q1 area.
Yeah.
Give it a go. Or look for the pros. Stewie, that's probably for offshore.
Yeah.
You might mention Matt Taylor on the back of the surf, Stu, but
No, the swell's a bit
You'll be-
big for that, so watch out.
0.5.
You still got to watch out for the
Yeah,
big
still got to
angry
watch
one.
out for the
But,
waves. Yeah, it's a
look,
bit
yeah, we've
dangerous.
got westerly the next couple of days, so it's probably
Yeah.
not a bad option to
Yep.
give it a crack. But yeah,
Oh, we'll talk about beach fishing a bit later in this segment.
Yep.
Okay, so then we go inside jumping pins. Stu, we went flathead fishing, as the guys know, about a week ago.
yep.
Smacked them.
Smacked them. Heaps
Yep.
of numbers, not much size, still the same go. So
Yep.
heaps of numbers up there. The size is getting a little bit bigger
Yep.
every week, but there's definitely not massive fish around.
But lots.
But lots.
Lots of.
Yeah.
So whether you're casting soft plastics, Stu, you're some of your favourites to show
Yeah,
before.
like those McCarthy's, mate, or
Fuse.
the Fuse one, mate. We did have that little bit of rain on Tuesday, or a fair bit of rain, so water's going to be a little bit discoloured. So I'd be fishing a little bit brighter, like fish your chartreuse or your white and stuff like that. Stuff that's going to stand out. And yeah,
Give it a
other
go.
than that, trolling, Dougie. You guys went
so-
trolling last week.
Yeah, the size was pretty good size, like
Yeah.
one in the 60s, and dropped a good one. You just got a troll on the top of the flats on the high tide, which will be midday at the moment
Yeah,
this weekend.
yeah,
And the first 2 hours to run out. But please remember, if you're up on the flats, you must have an escape plan. Because if your little entrance into getting into up on the flats gets a bit shallow, you may not get back out.
yeah.
It might
Might
be
have
deep
to
where you
wait
troll
there
on the middle of it.
Yeah,
But if you go to get out and you get stuck, you just got to wait until the next tide, which means have you got some beers or something
6
on the boat.
hours. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
And
And
a good mate that's not like Stu. Imagine Stu on the boat for 6 hours. Oh my gosh.
whatever. Mate,
Stu.
if Stuart was in the boat, you'd make Stuart get out and push the boat. So I wouldn't be in the boat. but would get out. Yeah.
Maybe.
So, Doug, your favourites, mate?
Yeah, trolling. So
Yeah.
I love Strike Pro lures for trolling. They're one of my favourites. They do a whole range of colours. That's the Strike Pro Galaxian, they're called. But these things have done us very well in previous fishing comps on the flatties.
Yeah.
I like trolling those anywhere from about 5 feet to about 10, so in that sort of 1.5 metre to 3 metre max, 2.5 metres.
Yeah.
They're really good.
Yeah.
You've got to drop it back a bit further in the deep water, get it to kick the bottom and keep your rod tip down low and work it. So if it's not hitting the bottom, give it a bit of a jerk up and it'll pull it down a bit further, okay? Tip.
Yep.
Stewie?
I've been using the little Shimano Bantam ones, little Pavlo shad. Mate, they swim
Pavlo
really
shads,
good.
Stewie?
Yeah, I don't mind
Yeah.
them, you know, Pavlo, you know.
I like
But,
Pavlova.
I love
You can't tell
Pavlova. It's so good. Anyway, but yeah, they've been going really good. You can't troll them as deep. They just don't dive to that 3 metres.
Yeah, so they're
10
good
feet,
up
but
on the flats, Stu,
Up on
about,
the flats.
about 1 metre of water at high tide.
Yeah, that's right.
Weed
Up to about,
beds,
say,
sandy
7 foot.
patches.
Yeah.
That's the go.
Yep, that's it.
Just keep your speed between 2 and 4 kilometres an hour on the GPS.
Yep.
Or just very slow walking pace.
Yeah, just in
Yep,
gear.
just in
You
gear.
might have to pull your motor out of gear every now and then
If
to
you're
slow
going too
down.
fast,
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And don't be scared to use the outboard. I prefer to troll with the outboard rather than electric. That's
Yeah.
me. Not
Yeah,
used
so
to.
do I. Yeah,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easier to steer from the back than the front.
Yeah, if it's weedy, don't drop it too far back.
No, that's it.
10 metres.
Yep.
Okay, Stuart, Taylor.
Taylor, mate.
So what's happened to Taylor, mate?
Taylor in the Broadwater. There's been Taylor in the Broadwater. There's been Taylor up the pin. There's been heaps of bait up the pin, Doug.
Yeah,
so
right.
more bait up the pin than down the Broadwater this time of year,
Yep.
which is strange. Normally it's all down the Broadwater, but
Yep.
for whatever reason, pins had more. So little metals, Dougie.
Keep it small, mate.
Keeping it small, so all the little white bait are very small. So we use
Yep.
metals the same size.
Yep.
Yeah,
In that size sort of thing. They'll work well.
yeah.
Stu, you might jump off the tip of South Australia, the most northern tip of the pin bar there, walk over to the other side and cast it there for
Yeah,
Taylor.
so there's some good gutters, like they're shallow gutters, but they're a bit better.
Bit bigger size.
Yeah, a bit bigger metal, so you cast a lot further. So they're just some little lasers that we've got in the shop. And the other thing that works really good in those shallow gutters, Dougie, is stick baits
Stick
and
baits, mate.
poppers
Yep.
and that
Yep.
type of stuff. So
Yep.
bit bigger size, just so you get that good cast, and they're generally bigger fish that smash
Yep.
these ones.
Right,
so,
yep.
yeah, they work an absolute treat. That Fishcraft one in particular, last year I absolutely smashed them on that. So
And good sized tailors, Stu.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, up to like 60 centimetres type of thing. So,
So-
good size.
If you want to know all about Stewie's ordeals on Taylor out of the boat or off the shoreline, and myself as well, we're doing a Taylor seminar, Stuart, next Thursday night.
We are.
Yep.
Yep. So all things Taylor.
Beach,
Yep.
rock, boat. Covering a
Sounds
whole lot.
good.
And big fish, how to catch big ones,
Yep.
and how to catch numbers.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get into that
Yeah.
next week.
Yep.
Stuart, so we've a few, last thing to tell you about is there's been a few threadies caught
Yep.
around the mouth of the Logan and
A few Jewies as
in
well.
certain
medium
areas, yeah.
size. Yep.
And mainly on the vibes. So Stu
Yep.
gets some vibes here,
Yeah,
but
like
bigger
little,
size than that though.
bigger vibes, but little vibes catch everything. So heaps of flatties, and they'll still catch threadies and Jewies and all that stuff as well. Yep.
Yep. And a few mud crabs still around. I can't believe they're big mud crabs too.
Yeah, and it's cold.
Very cold.
Yep.
Water temps about 18 or 17 inshore
Yep.
and about 20 offshore
Yep.
at the moment. So Stuart, we'll head down to Gold Coast Way.
Yep.
So get back to that
Still-
vibe.
yep.
That's been one of your vibes in the Broadwater.
Yeah, it has, mate. So I've been
Crab Island?
like fishing Crab Island around the water shots a fair bit this year for flatties already, and little vibes, mate, have been absolutely smacking them. All the bait's small.
Yep.
As I said before, there's not heaps of bait, but at certain times there might be a fair bit around crab or around the order shots.
So when Stu and I
So
fish them beside each other and I'm not catching any and all of a sudden I see a flatty come on the deck, I know Stu's changed from soft plastic to a vibe.
Yeah.
Doesn't help him much to get to the total amount, but it helps him get there a little bit.
I'm crawling back slowly. But
Yeah.
The other thing is, some few tarpon and stuff like that around just north
Yep.
of Sovereign on vibes again. Little plastics as well.
And squid, Stuart, the squid are really
Mate.
on. I always said July's in a month. And,
Yeah.
Stu went
That's
the
it.
other day, you got a couple, mate?
Yeah, I went the other day with a couple of fellas and we absolutely smashed them. I think we got about 20, Johnny and Ricky. But mate,
He did tell me 30.
yeah, that's,
Yeah, whatever.
that's about 20, 25, something like that.
Yeah.
But with Dougie, we did put a sleeper out the back in that heavy jig, that exact jig actually, and it caught a couple.
Yeah.
But brown was definitely the colour, so those ones there, Dougie,
Yeah.
smashed it.
A couple of my favourites as well. I
Yeah.
still like the prawn striped brown one, but that one's a good one as well.
Yeah.
That is definitely a good one, that one there. That's
Yeah.
what my wife likes to use. That one she always outfishes me on the squid.
It's not hard to outfish you on the squid, dog.
Yeah, that's
Done
right.
that a couple of times, mate.
A couple of times too, yeah. Other days I was doing the photography. Okay, so squid are good.
Yeah.
Guys, places where to get them. This weekend, unfortunately for land-based, it's not the best tides because you want a high tide early morning, late
No,
evening.
that's right, yeah.
It's middle of the day.
Yeah.
But give it a crack on the Seaway wall, but it's going to be boats everywhere.
Yep.
Or maybe off the Southport Pier. I don't know if you get them in the Buns Bay Pier.
Yeah,
I
probably
think
try
it'll
Bumps Bay one. It's been
be-
fishing on
midnight you'll get them on the high
Yeah,
tide.
that's right,
You're
yeah.
going to get out for a midnight fish,
Yeah.
rug up and take a
Get down there.
thermos
Yeah.
of Bundy coffee down or something, and you'll be right. But it's got to be around that high tide time where the water's got to be clear.
Yep.
Simple as that. Yep.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you're in the boat, just try anywhere from Effron Island all the way to the Grand
Yeah.
on that Western Channel, and on the east side from SeaWorld up to Sundial Bridge.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
On the edge of the channel.
Yeah.
Yep, western side of the main channel.
Yeah.
Yep, western edge. Give that a go. Stewie, the bass up the dam.
Bass up the dam. I haven't heard a great deal, but
Yeah.
yeah, they're definitely still there.
Yeah, I saw.
Fishy outside of the tree line.
Yeah,
Had a lot of fish. Yeah.
yeah. There's been a few there. Obviously, the closure at the moment below the weirs,
Yeah,
you
so
can't fish in any tidal.
waters.
Tidal waters for bass is out. That obviously means more down Tweedway for us.
Yeah.
You get them in Albert and Logan, but they're up above the weirs, so don't get much down below it.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just remember that rule though, please. Till the
Yeah.
1st of August, I think it opens back up, or 31st.
Don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in August,
We'll have a look.
but it's definitely closed now. July's out.
Yep.
Stu, one thing we didn't cover was beach. We'll get back to the beach.
mate.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, so there's actually been some good gutters along Main Beach and down
Yep.
towards Broad Beach.
Yep.
And there's been a lot of still whiting in there, Dougie.
Yeah, I
Good
was like,
sized sea bream.
Get yourself some beach worms and
Yeah.
get down there and have a crack on the whiting and dart and
Yeah.
sea bream.
Yeah.
A few flatties in the surf at the moment
Yeah,
too,
there
and
is,
really
yeah.
beautiful clean flatties.
Yeah.
There's got to be tail there. I know there's not enough surf waves to get them motivated, but if you went down this week and I think around 8:30 to about probably 10 o'clock and spun lures on that rising tide, you'd have to
You'll
get a
catch
few.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Look for any birds diving and
Yeah.
bait. There's been a few shots of people with bait right up on the shoreline getting pushed in with the
Yeah.
tailer.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to try and find.
Yeah.
Yeah, so give that a go. So don't forget about our seminar, Stu, next Thursday night, tailor fishing, all about it. And then we're doing one the week after that on deep dropping. We're doing a round 2 on deep dropping because we've just had too many people inquire about it.
Yeah.
And deep jigging.
Yeah, so it'll be a bit of a crossover, that one. Bit of jigging, bit of deep drop in standard stuff. So, yeah,
Teach you all about it.
should be good.
And we've just got a heap of gear in hand, so we're ready to roll.
Yep.
Okay, other than that, guys, be safe out in the water. Just be careful of the weather. It's hit and miss. One's saying good, one's saying bad. That's up to you guys to try and work it out.
Yeah.
But be safe. And remember, Wesley, it's always nice going with the Wesley wind offshore, but as soon as you turn around and come back against it, it looks ugly.
Yeah.
And the further out you go, the worse it gets. So be careful, please. Okay, that's about it.
That's it.
We'll see you next week. We're here to help you out. Dougie Bird and the team. Don't forget to tell your friends and watch our YouTube and Instagram pages, and you'll learn heaps. Okay. Thanks, Stuart.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.